Hello. Welcome to Mystic Moons. I am offering personal readings if anyone is interested. There is someone in particular that I am looking to go and see if I'm waiting to hear from one person who made a donation yesterday. If I see you tonight, if I see you tomorrow night, if I see you the night after, I'm ready to take your question. Chiaka. Or Shaka, however you say your name. Your username, your handle. In the meantime, I am going to be doing collective readings. I'll be doing a couple of them. Seeing how it feels. I believe we're coming up, if we're not already in new moon energy. Aren't we in new moon energy to the new moon pass? The days have sort of been going in and out for me. What happens when you're up with no discernible schedule? That's what my cat says. Also, too, when you have a little bit of a cold. Anyway, let's check out, let's get some messages. Some general collective messages. When the messages start to repeat, I'll probably take a break. Because I like to get different messages. It's no fun if it's all the same message. All right, let's see what we're going to start off with. We're going to start off, unless of course anyone wants a personal reading before I jump into it. Once I jump into it, I am going to continue with the message until it's done. All right, I'm going to start. Message to start with. I have a rat. Is this a literal rat? May not be. May just be someone born in the year of the rat. May be somebody who's very ingenious, someone who's very adaptable, someone who's very smart, someone who's very quick, someone who's quite aware, someone who also is very popular, right? Rats are popular. Rats are sociable. They definitely are. Let's see what else we have. With this message of the rat, I'm going to take 2 cards from this pile. And, oh, that card fell out. I'm going to take it too. Let me take one more card from here, and let's see what we have. Oh, rebound. So I have rumors, rebound, rabbit, and silver spoon. So everybody go off onto the internet. Well, we are in the internet, but I'm not going to do it. You do it. Go and find out the year of the rat. Do you know somebody who's born in the year of the rat? Also, too, there are months correlated with these as well. I don't know, consider the month too. And somebody born in the year of the rabbit. We have rat and rabbit here as the players that are there. Maybe you are born in the year of the rat. Maybe you were born in the year of the rabbit. Maybe you know somebody who is that way. This person with silver spoon, This person is at least middle class, if not upper middle class. This person is someone who's quite comfortable, someone who goes, and I would also say follows the rules quite well. Think about it as well. Rat, silver spoon, and rabbit. These are all very social animals, social settings, someone who fits into society quite well. We're not necessarily talking about mavericks here. We're not talking about those atypical people that people could go and give those sideways stares to. No, these are people who appear, maybe they don't quite appear conservative, but I'm going to say they definitely appear grounded. They appear popular. They appear nice. They appear approachable. They appear trustworthy. They appear like they're doing well. Okay, so keep all that in mind too with Silver Spoon. But we have rumors and rebounds, so I don't know whether exactly we're going to go and take a deeper look. What exactly are these rumors and rebound? Well, what I do know, first of all, from these cards and from what I feel, obviously, for these sociable players, the rat and the rabbit, obviously, well, there's some deception there, right? They're not entirely as good natured, entirely as honestly popular. You know, they get their popularity by playing up what people expect of them, and also to what they can get of people. They work a situation to give themselves or put themselves in a better light. Whilst we have rumors and rebound here, what I have here, rabbit and rat and rabbit, somebody is using the other in order to prop themselves up, number one. Also, too, they go through a lot of people to go and see what they can get out of them. Doesn't necessarily have to be rebound in a romantic sense, but it definitely is evaluating, gathering, harvesting, and discarding people. Right? What can they get? It's very calculating energy in there. Especially with Silver Spoon again, nothing goes to waste. They appear like they have an overflow, or at least quite comfortable, but at the same time, nothing goes to waste. What am I going to do? Let's see. I do want to bring in some tarot into it. I feel tarot is softer actually than this deck. This deck is a bit harsh. I feel this deck is a little harsh too, but I'm not going to use this one. I'm going to use my soft deck. Hello, Darth. Okay, for my soft deck, I'm just going to draw 2 cards. I'm not going to correlate it. And then we're going to dig into Silver Spoon, Rabbit, Rumors, and Rebound. King of Cups. Okay. Well, I got some very strong male energy here with the Emperor and King of Cups. Could still be dealing with a feminine player. If we are dealing with a feminine player, then keep in mind this is a very forward person. This is someone who goes out and acquires, doesn't sit and wait for something to happen, is not necessarily receptive, but is In this energy, someone who grabs something with their own teeth. Okay, so if it is a feminine person, it's a very active feminine person, is someone who does chase, someone who is very obvious with what they want and is not necessarily sitting back in passive energy, and maybe a smile, maybe an innocuous conversation. This is someone who's very direct and very imposing either way, male or female energy. This is someone who's very imposing, someone who you can't ignore. Well, we already had popular with Rabbit. Rabbit also has that sexuality aspect in there, so keep that in mind too. And Rat, we have two very popular, sociable people. Could gravitate towards both players. Definitely gravitates here with King of Cups. King of Cups and 10 of Pentacles together tells me that this person's table, this person's circle, this person's energy, when you have this person's time, well, everybody's very happy to have this person's time. They see it as a gift. Somebody is quite high standing, I'll put it that way. For clarifying, let's start going a little deeper into rumors. For rumors, I have is this a point of sale system, what they like to go and call e-commerce systems, or is that a piece of poopy? I'm kind of thinking it's a piece of poopy and not a point of sale. I should go and get a deck that has more business terms. Are these really rumors? Do I really have rumors here? I wonder. Well, let me put it this way. Rumors are simply things that are being stated. Do I have untruths or do I have truths? Maybe that's more the question here with rumors. Rumors are somebody who's a piece of poopy because they ghosted someone, because they hurt someone. Someone is sharing that. Some very popular person who has quite an interesting quite an interesting reputation. Everybody wants to get to know this person. Somebody, either that person was hurt or that person has the rumors going through of being hurt. All right. Well, that's the rumors. Are they untruths or are they truths? New love. Actually, I'm going to leave this as that. That's message number one for some of you. Some of you, you are going to meet somebody who I think you're going to find quite admirable. I could dig a little bit more into this, but I don't think it's necessary because we're doing readings for the collective and the rest is up to you. What I'm seeing here is for some of you, you could meet somebody born in the year of the rat. You can meet somebody born in the year of the rabbit. I have also with Emperor, that is fire. That could be in Aries. With King of Cups could be a water sign. 10 of Pentacles could be Virgo. I actually read the court cards could be all the water signs, right? I actually read my King of Cups more specifically as Pisces. That's just me. but it could be any water sign. So keep those in mind too in terms of signs. As I do feel that this is love, I would take sun, moon, rising. I would also take seventh house energies. You could take Venus as we're dealing with masculine energy. You could consider, definitely could consider Mars. I have lots of aggression here. Could also consider Jupiter. Okay, think about that. Some of you are going to meet somebody who's very impressive. I do think this person is comfortably well off. Looks like they're a little bit more than silver spoon here. King of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles with a King of Cups. One thing I will also say is very interesting as well with this message from Spirit, the fact that King of Cups is here with a Ten of Pentacles and with rumors. I feel like I also have to go and call that out. As opposed to, let's say, having a more committed energy. Like a King of Pentacles, for instance. A King of Cups with a Ten of Pentacles is like the promise that what you're getting is something real, something concrete. You're getting bonding, you're getting merging families together, you're getting warm feelings and support to grow out a life together. There's a promise there with the King of Cups, but does the King of Cups actually fulfill it? Can the King of Cups actually fulfill it? That's something that you should at least be aware of and consider. I do think some of you are going to feel you're going to meet somebody who's going to be, as I said, quite impressive, quite popular. But there's going to be something about that person you're going to find out. You're going to hear something unpleasant about how they treated their last person they're separated from, and the way they left that person was, in this energy, quite, excuse my language, but I am going to use that language, shitty. I don't like to use bad words, but I'm going to use it here because I feel, yeah, this is a pile of poo. Is it exactly a rebound, or is this person, as I said before, does this person have a tendency to go around and with their status, I don't know, lure people over with the promise of what can be? Do I even call this love bombing? I don't know. I'm not going to go and put those words in there. I'm just going to say that this person, I don't think that this is an untruth with the rumors. I think this person did act in the past shitty to someone not too long ago. And that's something that you need to be aware of. That's message number 1 here. Let's go on to the next message. But I am going to just fold these cards in, so give me a moment. All right. And of course, if anybody wants a personal reading in between this, now is the time to reach out until I do the next message. So once I do the messages, I'm going to continue getting them until that. Hello, Darth. I see you wrote a lot. When I do my readings, I don't really read the comments until I'm done with the readings. Unless I'm doing a reading for you. But yes. And I see you wrote a lot. I will read all of that when I'm done with the messages of aware and beware. So, as I said, if anybody would like to come in between right now, with a personal question. All that I ask is a donation. Details are in the description. But there's also plenty of readings that I have for the community on the channel. Go and check them out. There's a whole bunch of astrological notes I did earlier today. I sort of forget the signs I did, but I did a bunch of them. And I think I also did some general messages by, was it just earth signs? I think so. I think I only did earth signs today. Capricorn's reading was quite interesting, though. I will say that Capricorn's reading, although I was looking at the monthly energy, Capricorn's reading actually referred to the whole year. And I don't know if it was Virgo or Taurus. There was some other energy as well that spoke about not just so much now, but, in general. It was interesting. All right. I'm going to clear the air and we'll go and get our next message. I didn't mean to do that one, but I guess it was meant to be. These come in a whole bunch of notes, the Tingshas. I want to get a few more. I want to get one in A. Won't that be nice? This was actually given to me. This was gifted to me by someone at the Hermitage I studied at a few years ago. I spent a year in isolation. A year of isolation, I probably went, easily maybe 4 or 5 months without talking to anybody too. I mean, I still was working. I was working remotely in the morning, but it was like early AM hours. I worked with an overseas team, but actually face-to-face conversation, probably at least 5 months of silence. And the person who had the tiny place I was in before me gave me these. I spent a lot of time looking up at the moon. I spent a lot of time looking at water, which is also why I do those meditation moments. The nature films I'll do later, I do want to make longer guided meditations, but that's for later. And also too, going out in nature when the weather is no longer freezing. It takes me about a half an hour to go to wherever I go. All right. Sincere wants to come out. Shall we take it? I wasn't really pulling with anything in mind, but why not? I'm going to take this down. It doesn't apply right now. Sincere. What is sincere? Cold. Money. Toxic metal. What is that? Is that 2 cards, 1 card? Feels like 2, but it's 1. Engagement, stinks. Love, admire, horse, hot, truth. Sincere, well, metal. Metal is almost middle management, right? Management. Toxic. Be about a workplace. Could be toxic, metal, sincere. cold. Someone to work with business. In fact, I'm going to go and draw some tarot. Ah, Chiaka. I got your donation, Chiaka. Sorry, I missed it the other day. Chiaka, let me finish this pull, this message, and then if you have a question, let me go and pull it for you. Beautiful, Chiaka. Okay, but let's go and find out where cold and money. Pull just two on this message. Page of Cups. I do want to look at this. Page of Cups. Somebody is coming through with an offer to someone who's already been disappointed before, put out a lot of strength before, with the results unsatisfactory is basically what I'm getting here in this energy. Queen of Swords, Nine of Swords, Three of Swords, Strength, High Priestess. But an offer is coming through. Page of Cups. Let's get one more here. Ten of Cups. Someone that's either going to draw upon your history or your background, or someone who you share history with. Either way, your past experience makes you a little bit out of this opportunities league, actually, if you ask me, with Seven of Swords. Why do we have a Seven of Swords? If the opportunity and what they want from you is not equal. Seven of Swords to me always speaks of, always implies inequality in treatment, among other things. There has to be a reason why someone's gearing up in Seven of Swords energy. But we're not going to dig too much into that. What I do see here is that there's an offer coming. There is a little problematic things, as I said, with that Ten of Cups. There could be, they're interested in making you this offer because of your history, either your background itself and the opportunities, the experiences you have, or a shared history in the past, one or the other. But I have sincere, cold, and money. Page of Cups. Let me see. I'm actually going to go and shuffle my deck really quick. And Page of Cups. Ten of Cups. I already saw that one. Someone's finally going to make you an offer now. You're no longer interested, disinterested, chaser, and poor. Someone's going to offer you a small potato. That's what it is. Some of you are going to get an offer. I will tell you that right now. Could very well be a job offer. Could be just somebody seeing your value romantically. But if you ask me, what they're offering, first of all, is not at your level, even if you really need work. But you definitely are not going to be very excited about it. Disinterested, chaser, and poor. Not that, as I said, this deck is a little harsh, right? A little harsh. Maybe it's not quite that bad, but that's what I have here. Anyway, let's go and check out the So, yeah, somebody's going to make you an offer. I could go a little bit more into this, but I think let's find out about 10 of Cups. Maybe you have 2 offers coming. I don't know. We'll take a look. Now that we know that this one is going to be offering a small potato. And one of the buds fell off. I actually hurt my own potato. Oh, well. It has other buds. I have a bunch of potatoes that are my in another part of my my altar now. I am a potato. I'm not quite a potato farmer, but I am a potato fan. So 10 of Cups gets surprise. Yes, I love my potato. I don't know why. I just love it. I love the fact that it's potatoing. It makes me very excited. It does. Interesting. So bottom of the deck energy here, I have a body type. Also, too, this refers to fire, somebody who has primarily fire in their chart, in their body, someone who's athletic, someone who has a lot of energy, someone who can go and start things and finish them. Anyway, surprise, months, and snake. So it's interesting because we are in the year of the snake. Could also be referring to somebody born in the year of the snake. Could also be referring as well to someone, maybe it's you, but someone who's quite striking. And I don't mean that as a pun. Somebody who is attractive. Someone who glitters, someone who could have a little bit of sensuality with them, someone who definitely is into fashion, presentation, deportment, posture. Someone who's polished. Let's put it that way. Snake, someone who's polished. Surprise, months, and snake. You know what I'm getting here is maybe there's 2 opportunities that you need to deal with, perhaps. One opportunity is definitely going to be small potatoes here with Page of Cups. You are getting some money. You're going to get some offers. As I said, if it's not money, you could be getting people with some money. If this is a person or a job, regardless what this Page of Cups is, if it's a job, it is going to be aligned in the field of what you like to do or the activities you like to do. The activities you're best at. As I said, they're overreaching a little bit. Remember that Seven of Swords energy that was behind the deck as I was pulling here? I mentioned that. Why the Seven of Swords energy there? You know, someone's overshooting a little bit, and their money, their resources, their ability their capacity doesn't quite measure up to you. I definitely see you not being that interested in what's here. It's going to look pathetic. Sadly, it is going to look pathetic. If this is a person, a romantic suitor, this person is also going to be pathetic. And if it's a romantic suitor, I could say you don't even want to deal with this person in that energy. Maybe you have to deal with a small potato job. You definitely don't have to deal with a small potato person. And in time, yes, that's why I said maybe you have to deal with both of them. If this is work, especially with money and cold and sincere, if this is work, message here from Spirit is perhaps some of you are going to have to be putting up with a subpar position for a period of time to tide you over till the real entree comes along. You know, I am going to go and clarify this month's because, you know, 10 of Cups with a Page of Cups, to me, if you ask me, especially since we're already in the cold season, you know, time is already passing. So is this more months that you have to wait? Maybe do you have to wait until the world opens up from the cold months, maybe spring? Find out a little bit more about that. But surprise and you and snake, interesting as I said, could be you're the snake, could be someone with those qualities that are here, but there definitely is going to be a decent, worthy of you offer coming up. But if it's money, and if we're talking about money, some of you may have to deal with small potato job or small potato jobs, plural. But you know, the message from Spirit is hold on a little bit, take the small potatoes as they come. The small potatoes as they come. And, you know, I was going to eat these potatoes too. I was, and then I forgot about them for a week, and then they potatoed. They began growing life. I have more. I have a lot more potatoes. I am like potato queen here. Let's find out about months. That's what I'm most interested in. Months. I have lie. Weeks. Pull one more. Content and spirit. Okay, it's not that long. It's a lie that it's months, weeks. I'm going to pull one tarot, I think. One card. Okay, so some of you are going to have to hold on just a little bit. Hold on a little bit. Justice is coming. Does feel like, as I said, if you need money, you may have to go and take some unpleasant things, but something good is coming. Something excellent actually is coming. It's going to serve you quite well. Let me also say, too, before I close out this message here about money and work, and especially if, you know, we're not talking about people, relationships matter of the heart. I will say as well that with Page of Cups, that is very much like gig working, you know, working from gig to gig. But with that 10 of Cups, it is, you know, there's an end in sight here. And also with that 10 of Cups position that's coming up, it's going to be long lasting. Could be till the end of the year, could be longer. Okay, that's the message that I have here for some of you. Work is coming up. You're going to get money. You may have to do a couple of gigs. They could be rather distasteful, could be distasteful. If they're people, I wouldn't even bother dealing with people. I mean, don't be that desperate. That person isn't worth it. In that energy, not worth it. In a job, if you need money, it could, you know, have to make do. But something, regardless of whether it's work or love, something great is on your way. And you just need to hold out a little bit. Maybe by spring in that energy. Maybe by spring. Spring is only, what, 2 months away? Not long. Not long at all. Okay. Chiaka, what's your question? I am ready for you. Tell me a question. Ask me your question, and we will take a look and see what we can find out. And also, too, if there's something that you want to think about a little bit more, you can always catch me tomorrow. I mean, there's no rush, but I'm just saying that, you know, I appreciate your donation. I appreciate your time and energy. I appreciate your hellos. How am I? I am doing good. Well, I still have like a little bit of a cold, still working through the cold, but it's winter. Winter is not going anywhere. Oh, thank you, Chiaka. I appreciate your time and energy too. I appreciate definitely like seeing your little handle popping up on the feeds makes me smile. Mutual little heart. I'm serious. I very much am. It is a beautiful thing, Chiaka. But yes, if you want to think a little bit more, that's fine. Because, I am out doing a variety of readings here and there. There's just so many questions out there, right, to go and explore the answers to. And then when you think about it, you can go and explore things through the stars and the planets. You can go and explore things as we're doing right now, just purely by energy. You can explore things through our political climate and what they choose to put forth in our news. You can explore things by the celebrities that they uphold as examples or people that we should be paying attention to. Is your crew a good set? Okay. Let's go and see. Is your crew... Actually, I'm going to hold off on these cards. These cards, as I said, this deck is a bit harsh. This deck is very harsh, actually. Let's do this. Okay, is your crew a good set? Ooh, Page of Pentacles. Well, first of all, let me say that the vibration and capacity and growth and direction of your crew is just starting out. I feel like with what you currently know of everyone so far is really just scratching the surface because everyone is evolving. Everyone is evolving. Everyone is discovering their own paths. Everyone is also, very curious and not bound to... They're not bound. They're not fixed. They're open. They're also open to things both that they haven't considered as well as following through on plans that they've always wanted. It's interesting energy there. Page of Pentacles clarified. I have 9 of Swords. Hierophant. 4 of Cups. Is your crew a good set? First of all, I'm going to say that I think your crew is very intelligent. I do think they are very intelligent. I think your crew is also a group of people who realize, maybe let's say, now this could be fluctuating, and I say fluctuating between, let's say, 60 to 70%. It's like you're aware of the process, the standard process to go and get ahead. The standard rules of engagement. And to me, this almost feels like that sort of energy that some people have. Some people, when they're going off into lower energies, are like, well, I can put up with being oppressed or blah, 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 because when I get in power, I'm going to do the same thing. And, a good portion of it feels like our culture, especially westernized culture, patriarchal culture, etc. A good portion of our so-called civilized culture is based upon this whole thing of waiting till you have your turn. And therefore, since everyone else is eating crap, you have to eat the same crap and so forth. And what I have here, Chiaka, is a realization of what one needs to get ahead, right? Theoretically, that what the standard pathways of what people need to go and get ahead. And Chiaka, here with Four of Cups, here with Seven of Wands, it's like, yeah, there's a standard methodology to getting ahead, but is that the only way? Is that the only way to get ahead? And surely there is this structure, the behemoth of what we all need to do to grow, to get and gain opportunity, gain resources, gain freedom, gain autonomy, gain authority, right? And all those things that you want to gain and the standard process of getting it. Do you really have to follow through the standard process? Four of Cups. Four of Cups is actually, I find, very, very exciting. Four of Cups, and then with his bottom of the deck energy of Seven of Wands, King of Wands, 10 of Pentacles. This is really like going your own path, discovering your own pathways to realize success on your own terms. And your own terms doesn't involve sacrificing your own core values simply to go and get ahead, your own core values simply to fall in line with what everyone else is doing, but to be your own person. And that's what I get here. So, Chiaka, to your question of is your crew a good set? I think your crew, first of all, is a group of people who think. And I think, Chiaka, they're very aware of the rules and structure of our typical society. And they're also aware that they don't have to go and follow the same doldrum path that everyone else has done. As long as there's innovation and effort into creating something better. And I think that's what your crew is here. That's the energy that I have here. Yes. So I think your crew, I will say, I do still feel like they're going through lots of transformation. I think that they're considering critical questions that are still forming their character and their life path. Where they are right now is not at all where they're going to be 5 years from now, where they're going to be 10 years from now, 20 years from now. But I do think everyone has a lot of motivation to do some really great things. And then the interesting thing here, again, that I have about the energy is not so much doing things for their own profit per se, but it's really about elevating the community and the circle that they're in. Interesting energy, Chiaka. It really is. It really is, because as I said, so many people love that whole thing. And you could even speak to just, people of all walks of life. They're like, oh, yeah, I was oppressed, or I'm being oppressed, or yeah, this is the way it is. So you have to like suck it up and deal with it. And then there are the people who are there. I mean, I'm like one of those people, just because someone is there putting pressure on you or you're receiving pressure doesn't mean you have to go and relieve your own pressure by taking it out on someone else. You don't have to continue the streams of negativity, and aspiring to be negative in the first place is really not the energy that us as a society, as a so-called civilized society, should be. You know, we want to see change, and people have been talking about change ever since electricity got formed, right? I mean, look at all the conversations around women and female empowerment. And yet there's still the same sort of issues that people were talking about in our great grandmother's time. They're still being done, still being experienced today by women entering the workforce. I'm going to say as of last year, since we haven't had a graduation year yet, right? We're not in April yet, but I mean, they're still going to be going through the same exact issues and treatment that our grandmothers and great grandmothers went through. Exactly, but the whole point is, from what I see here, there's the realization and the planning that just because everyone else is doing it, it's not the way. There are other ways to go and work with the system, work under the system, modify the system, and change the system. I don't see acceptance here at all. What I see is taking a step back and thinking the best way to change the system for the better. And I love that. Very beautiful energy, I think, with your friends. Very curious energy, very intelligent energy. And I love the fact, too, that they're not taking the easy way out, and they're not being robots going, oh, yes, everyone else does this, I need to do it, too. I have 4 cats. The one you hear right now is Chibi-Chi, which means little life. He's known as Chi. Yes, we do. We do. And definitely, I think the way of, it's interesting. There was a conversation I had last year with somebody whose father is quite prominent in one of the main religions. I'm not going to say who or what, because then it's like, bam, is that person. But his family is like the number one, or what are the top 3 lieutenants of this religious figure. And that person, I got to know a little bit about his family and about him. And it was so disturbing to hear somebody for like 50 years, 60 years, being the spokesperson of this religious figure, talking about how the strong cannibalize the weak, and if you don't have strength, then it's your right to be dominated. Domination and submission. I mean, it was so creepy. And then, especially coming from a man saying this to a woman, and then an older man saying this to a younger woman. Oh, it was really, really creepy. It's like he was there, like trying to sell me some like a cult Kool-Aid or some crap like that. Like, I have authority and you have none. I mean, it was like, dude, you're creepy. You're creepy and you're a dinosaur. Shoo. But so many people try and operate upon this whole domination and submission, powerful and weak, and they don't even have an idea of what real power is and what real power is. I'm just going to say that. What really living is, and what we are, our greatest gifts as humans are. It is. It really is. That person was so creepy. And that person's family also runs their own, I'm going to say, place, a spiritual center that's quite prominent, but very creepy, very, very nasty, nasty vibes, nasty words, nasty actions. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, there's such a prevalence there, but I really do think that's old thinking, like the way they say old speak or whatever in 1984, new speak, right speak, wrong think. I do think that is such it's old speak, and they don't even realize that. Even though, of course, we still have these primitive problems that we're going through, such as murder, such as war, such as acquisition, land grabs, debt, etc., etc., etc. I still say they're doing that because overall, there's such an awakening that's going on with people all over and of all ages and of all backgrounds, in which we're truly learning and realizing what true power is, and it's not being plugged into a computer system and following the so-called dominant. Yeah. It's so interesting, though, when they talk about DNA. I had a professor who was part of that initial push that they had. I think they actually could have started it in the mid-90s, but I know that it got really heavy funding. It started getting really heavy funding, I think, early 2000s. Like, I think it's been going on for a very long time, but it started getting a lot of funding and then of a lot of attention early 2000s. And that was that whole Human Genome Project, where universities and professors were asking people to send in samples of their DNA so they can go and create a huge genetic bank. And there's a bunch of universities that are part of that. And I had a professor who was part of it. And then I asked him, it was odd, I'm not going to say his name as well because that's pinpointable. But I asked him, like, when he was there saying, oh, you should go and donate your DNA. And I'm like looking at him and I'm there saying, well, did you? And I was working at this time at it was in nanobiotech department. And I asked him, well, did you donate your DNA? And he was like, no, I did not. I'm like, you are one of the founders of this initiative and you did not donate your DNA, yet you were asking everybody else to donate. But I do think with DNA itself, there's such a story that's in there, and they're not even sharing the full ramifications of what that story is. Exactly. I mean, also too, part of I would go to some of the lectures and things like that as well during lunch. And for instance, like we'll go back to the potato. I sat in so many lectures about potatoes, seriously. Of course, potato research, by the way, if you're ever interested in science and if you're ever interested in agriculture, potato funding in the government is actually one of the most well-funded ventures you can go into if you're into research. They put out lots of money on potatoes, so a lot of people are studying it. And the whole thing is, apparently, there's something about the potato, like the banana, that is, I forget now why, it's a little too early in the morning, it's supposed to go extinct. So everybody is there trying to map the potato, go and recreate various strands of the potato and use the potato to unlock, it is one of the mammalian resources of of DNA research. But going back to the other guy, it was just interesting how they did this major push for everyone to send in their DNA. And all they just have right now is just a big DNA bank. But they don't really tell us what they use it for or what the results are of it, which is still maintained and still funded, but I'm not really following it. No, it does not. It doesn't. I don't know. That's why I always think that conversations, and also too why I do readings on, a variety of subjects. I do find the mentality of science, so-called scientific endeavors and research labs, and then of course the funding cycles, all that very interesting, having seen it firsthand. And ultimately, when you boil it down, it's no different than a sports team. Maybe the internal politics of your local football team. I don't mean collegiate level or high school level, maybe just like, a bunch of dads that get together and play football. DARPA. I do know that. So I don't know if that professor, that part of his project was funded by DARPA, but I wouldn't be surprised. He was heavily funded by the National Science or the NSF. What is that? National Science Foundation. Quite intensely. And I think that same person later went on to still keep his post as a professor. He still kept his department, his research department, and he could have stepped back a little bit from being one of the spearheaders of the whole Human Genome Project, which was interesting too, because he didn't really focus, his research area was not on the human genome. It was actually on a type of dairy byproduct. He was a food science professor. Was he? I would say that. Well, the interesting thing about that guy, he later went on to local politics. And I don't know how far he got, but I do know that he got elected to the district of that. So he still had his university position, but I think he only taught once or twice a week. And then he still kept his lab that he was in charge of, which I'm sure he just kept it primarily because it was his lab and his research space. I mean, once I guess you successfully lobby for getting a certain type of equipment in there and having a certain number of square footage, you don't want to give it up. But then he also went into politics. Right? Well, he definitely had some very prestigious placements to begin with in terms of funding. I'm trying to remember if he was an American or if he spoke with an accent. I think I recall him speaking with an accent. But to me, it was more the subject of him that just remains more in my mind than his accent. But he definitely had lots of funding. Another thing that was interesting about the department that I worked under him with, I was going through once on a slow day in the summer, I was going through some paperwork. I was clearing out a filing cabinet to see what, I don't know, for some reason. I guess I was just doing busy work. And maybe I was just moving things out of one filing cabinet and putting in boxes for some more room. It was something like that. And then I was going through, there was a summer internship that the department had. And in that summer internship, there were applicants that came in that applied for it, high schoolers. And some of them were students that had very good grades, very good credentials. And then a good portion of them were from wealthy New York City families. And their parents were quite popular or quite prominent in real estate or technology, or they were on the hospital board of some large name brand hospitals, etc. They were very well placed spawn of wealthy families, basically the New York City power elite, right? And their grades sucked and their background sucked, but their parents were rich. And from what I saw there was no reason to put them in there, but they all got the scholarships as high schoolers to come into the department. Well, I don't know if that was like, secret order brothers or not, but I would say that probably all the scientists, for one way or another, once you're in a field, everything is small. Everything gets small. But I did think it was interesting looking at their past paperwork for no more than maybe an hour or two. And I was shocked to go and see that they had brought in high schoolers from wealthy families just simply because their families were rich. And you could think about those are people that took an internship somewhere with some sort of department that had something to do with nanotech and DNA. But they weren't that smart. But they were wealthy. They're probably all in hospital administrative positions now, or maybe continuing on their parents' real estate companies, something like that. Anyway, that's what I think of too with stories like Elon Musk. Elon Musk propping himself up as the great and powerful genius. Was that really genius, or is that just positions that were bought and paid for? Anyway, I guess we could go and do another reading unless anybody has a personal question you would like me to do. Yes, it is a lovely time. Oh, same here, Chiaka. Yeah, I'm going to go and unless anybody has any personal questions, I'll go and put out a few more messages from Spirit, general ones. But yeah, that's what I think of every time I think of a whole bunch of things. When I think of DNA, I think of, they talk about scientific research, I think about that professor in charge of gathering that huge database on humans but yet he didn't go and submit his own DNA. And then I think about the department that we brought in a whole bunch of interns from wealthy families, but that's all they had were money. Things like that. I think those documents went on to be shredded too. Anyway. What gets me most about that whole thing too, and even thinking about the conversations that are being held now around smart dust. You know, whenever you're around, and the same thing with CERN and that collide, trying to go and smash the smallest known particles down to nothing. It's like when you're doing all these things, you don't know the effect of it. I mean, probably with myself being in that lab, I am probably breathing in or have tons of smart dust in there from all those nano bio particulates. I mean, they had us wearing clean suits, but those clean suits were doing nothing. Everybody knew it with the nanobiotech. Things that are literally, what is it, 32% of an atom. Things on a nanoscale. A clean suit is really going to take care of that, as if. Anyway, let's go and get another message from Spirit. All right. Another message. Healthy. I do have rat in the bottom, greed. Oh, side piece, New Age, sincere. As I said, this is a harsh deck. What is that? Greed. Well, healthy appetite. Could that be it if we see it on a more positive level? We'll see. Healthy. I keep on seeing that word rat, so I'm actually going to go and shuffle one more time. Maybe just the rat's energy is strong. But I leave it up to you guys if you're curious to check out the years that rats were born in. I am not interested. Okay, healthy. Healthy, sweet. Funeral. Family. I'm gonna pull card on funeral. Played you. Not going to be played anymore. Is that it? Sadist. Not going to deal. I guess that's it. Insincere and good move came up. Could be dealing with somebody, or somebody could have Year of the Rooster, or somebody who is cocky. Someone who has a lot of swag to them, someone who likes to dress up, someone who likes to be in control, someone who likes to lead, may follow others' leads temporarily. But this all will be is temporarily, especially with weight. This is a person who likes to lead, likes to be independent, likes to strut, doesn't need an audience to feel good. Anyway, funeral. Funeral is clarified by played you, sadist, insincere. And a good move, the way that I see this under funeral, you're not putting up with that sort of behavior, or let's say maybe even attracting those sorts of people anymore. Played you sadist, insincere, under funeral. That's dead, that's buried, that's gone. And it's a good move. It's healthy now. Let's check out sweet. Oops. Those are too many cards, but we will take note. Take note of lie and effed up. As I said, it's a harsh deck. But it makes it a little spicy, doesn't it? Sweet gets respect, gets commit. I'm curious, and it's a harsh deck. I'm going to pull one more. Praiseworthy. Interesting. So, some of you, the message here, I think you should open yourself up for love, open yourself up for new human connections, open yourself up to friendship, open yourself up to the possibilities that there are people out there who share your vision, your vibration, your commitment, your maturity, your, I don't even want to say history, your future outlook. That's what this healthy is. Because whatever not so good stuff you dealt with before, that's over, and you're now in a new cycle. A new cycle where good things are waiting for you, where you're respected, where people engage in the best actions they can, and they're committed to that. Something that's sweet. And family. I think I have to go and clarify this family if you'd like, though I can pull some tarot on this. It does feel like I have friendship, I have love, I have human connections. I have healthy human connections that are waiting. Healthy connections. That's because I'm here ruled by 4 cats. So for me, like literally my world revolves around feeding the cats, picking up the poo, etc., etc., etc. Then they sleep and I'm like, they're sleeping. And then if I go to sleep, they go and jump on my head. Literally, they jump on my head. It's like, we're up now. You should be up too. That's why I say human relationships. I have cat relationships. But I mean healthy relationships. Hello, Monique. Nice to meet you. Here, I have a message from Spirit saying that basically the previous people that you dealt with, I think, are over here with funeral. You're not going to allow those sorts of people in your energy anymore. You've cut them out. Only healthy people, healthy relationships are coming here with sweet, clarified by praiseworthy, respect, and commit, forming a new group to surround yourself in. Yes, Monique. So I'm going to pull out just some tarot on here and get a little bit more. Those are too many. I think so. That's too many. Now let's go and get a little bit more information. Since it's such a sweet message. It is a sweet message. I have 9 of Cups. I have 5 of Swords. I have 6. I have 6 of Cups. Well, I do have some more information here. I primarily pulled it because I was curious about zodiac signs, but I have something else here besides zodiac signs. Signs I do see Pisces, I do see Aquarius, I do see Scorpio, could be fire, could be earth. More relevantly, what I see then, the signs that funeral is on your end. That funeral is not on their end. 5 of Swords, 6 of Cups. Now that you're finally healthy and you've balanced yourself out, well, some people realize what they had in a gem with you. Just because this is a funeral and this is dead and buried for you, still doesn't mean that this can't come back. Is it coming back to this intensity? I don't know exactly with 9 of Cups, 5 of Swords, and 6 of Cups here. I will say that I'm not really fond of this energy, obviously. And that shows me that this energy is still alive if you allow it to come in. But at the same point, ultimately, you're on a new cycle. That new cycle is already moving fast. Already moving fast. You're already on a whole new wave. You know, if you open up the door to the past, if you leave the door open to the past, that past will come back. But if you keep it dead and buried, which you should, no need to give anyone a second chance, because you have something very interesting awaiting you. Praiseworthy, respect, commit, under, family. You know, you have true relationships, true bonds, the sort of bonds you've been waiting for. Not that long either. All right. If anybody would like or has a personal question, you can let me know. I do ask for a donation. You can get those details in the description, either Cash App or Buy Me a Coffee. I did disable Super Chat on here, so I don't believe that would work. Just didn't feel like dealing with YouTube. But Buy Me a Coffee works everywhere. Cash App works in the US. And I think I will pull maybe 2 more messages. That's an interesting message that came here, though. The message I had previously, the group message, was also interesting, which I felt could have gone either way between work or love, but with primarily work. Because as I said, you don't want to deal with a small, like, why do you have to deal with a Page of Cups? You don't have to. You might as well just get a potato and wait for it to sprout and focus all your Page of Cups energy on a potato and be so happy. Oh, look, it's sprouting. we're progressing our relationship. Relationship with a potato is much more conducive than relationship with that particular Page of Cups. But before I continue the next message, I think I'm going to take a 5-minute break. So I'll be back in a minute, but I will pull two more messages from Spirit, but I'm going to take a little bit of a break. And that also helps to put a little space and make sure that I'm not pulling on the same flow of energy. Sometimes I do that. I get redundant messages, or I get messages that are from the same theme, the same flow, like the same river, but then it branches off into little different nuances, which are to be expected when you're pulling for collectives. Right, there's little tiny differences. But I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back in 5 minutes. Yes, a potato. This is actually now my pride and joy. I bought these to eat, and then I forgot about them for a week, and I have a whole bunch of them. And then a week later, they all started sprouting and being, they started potatoing. They started propagating. Even though I was going to eat them, they decided that they were a potato full of life, and that they were going to be more than my dinner, or perhaps my breakfast or my snack. He said, we are life forms. I said, okay. So now, yes, I have, and I feel proud about it now too. Like, I feel like I've accomplished something. I am growing potatoes. The potatoes are potatoing. First, I was a little insulted. Like, how dare these potatoes try and propagate and make more potatoes around me? Like, the nerve, right? But now I am happy. They have a spot with all my stones. I am just thrilled about my potatoes. I am. I am wondering too about planting them. But one thing I know about potatoes, the potato leaves are actually poisonous. And I have 4 cats, so I don't want my cats to eat this. If they were sweet potatoes, you can plant sweet potatoes, and they will grow in dirt. I mean, obviously, right? What else would they grow in? But well, they could grow in sand and they could grow in water. Sweet potatoes. And then the sweet potato leaves, you actually can eat them, and they are actually more nutritious than spinach. So think about that. If you have a sweet potato, now, is it a sweet potato or a yam? I'm not quite sure of my classification of spuds, but I know definitely sweet potatoes. A sweet potato leaf is edible, and it is actually healthier and has more vitamins and minerals and a higher nutritional content than spinach. But potato leaves are poisonous. You can't eat potatoes, if my memory serves me correctly. So I'm pretty sure they do, because otherwise I would have grown lots of potatoes. One time I was nuts about growing sweet potatoes until it all failed in not getting I got tons of leaves. I did not get many potatoes. I did get my cats constantly pooping in the containers that I was trying to grow potatoes in. So the yams, the sweet potatoes rather. So I decided that must be a sign I'm not meant to grow potatoes. Sweet potatoes. But I have these. Okay, I'm going to take a 5-minute break. I'll be back in a little bit with 2 more messages. In the meantime, I'm going to leave that up. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. All right. Before we get started on the next message, would anybody like me to pull on a question for them? Would you like to donate to the channel? You know, there's something else that I'm going to make a post about, but I would like to explore, and that's if someone donates $30 to the channel, which would be enough for me in my area to go and buy a new deck from my local store where I am. Things are expensive. Well, you know, I'm in New York, so we have state tax, we have county tax, we have city tax, and there's some other kind of tax. Anyway, the taxes come up quite a bit. So if a deck is $25, I'll be charged probably like $32 in total. But $30, I'll just say. If somebody donates $30, what I will do, and if you go and donate it and include the word deck or tarot deck, not only will I give you a reading, but I'll open it up for an hour. And I'll do collective read, or I'll do individual readings, personalized readings for anybody who comes within that hour to celebrate the fact that I have a new deck. That's something that I've been thinking about. That is something I'm going to make a post about. But if anybody wants to donate $30 for a reading that just won't benefit you, but will benefit the collective people for personal questions for that hour. Isn't that a beautiful thing? Well, it's a beautiful thing to me. As you can probably see, if you're a follower of Mystic Moons, there's a lot of collective readings that I've put out. And that's because I believe in sharing messages. And I believe in sharing resources. And I believe this is a resource that I can share right now. And if you also believe in that community spirit, think about it. Think about donating $30. Say that it's for a tarot deck. Tell me if I don't know on the donation, either through Buy Me a Coffee or Cash App. Tell me your username so I can be sure to remember it. I do remember usernames. I have a very good memory. A little too good of memory. I try and forget things, but I have a very good memory. And next time I see you, or I could just go and plan out a time, I will open it up for a free reading for you and anybody else within an hour. Think about it. Because that's really the way that I like to operate. I like to grow together. And in that respect as well, as I said, if anybody would like to donate to the channel, would be nice. A token of appreciation. If you would like to do it either through a personal reading, or if you would, as I said, like to even think about doing a reading like that for the collective. But it has to be, as I said, $30 so I can get a new deck, because they're 25 something over here where I am. And then with tax, you'll actually come out to 32 something. All right. Let's get another message. Three of Swords, Bottom of deck energy here, Hangman. Four of Cups, Wheel of Fortune. Waiting a long time for a message to come that has not come. That's what I have here. A long time anticipating, a long time hoping for change, but change hasn't quite appeared, has it? With Three of Swords. And already the energy feels heavy. Three of Swords. Three of Swords gets monogamy. That's actually one of the meanings. I don't like to necessarily push on a Three of Swords. You know, the so-called third-party situation. Someone who didn't just break your heart, but they were unfaithful as well. I leave just broken hearts as broken hearts, personally. I don't like to dive into it unless I feel I have to. But with monogamy there, undeniably, someone was not truthful, was not faithful with you, had no intention. This person had no intention of being that way with you from the very beginning. And that realization still hurts. Dark. These are two cards. I guess I'll take them. Fall and God. Interesting. I guess I'm going to throw a card on all of these. Dark typically refers to a characteristic. You know, it's almost like when you look at the cards and see, like you could see timing of this, right? Each one does refer to a specific point of time throughout the year. I don't so much read them for that. Although I could. Also the numerology associations with the cards. I mean, we both have three energies here as well, with Three of Swords and Hangman. I don't so much read that as well, although we have threes, right? Threes of, well, of union, of building, of creativity, of building. I think I already said that. I do very much feel relationships and interpersonal building here with that. Also, I have Pisces and Libra energy as well. Could be relevant for you, could be relevant perhaps for some other person here. Doesn't necessarily have to be sun, moon, rising. Could also be, well, Three of Swords here in this energy. Could be Mars energy. There could be aggression here. It could be Mars, could be Pluto. Could be your signature sign as well. You know, we all have a sun sign, a moon sign, but then when you think about your collective energy, sometimes it may complement your sun sign, sometimes it could be entirely different. You could feel that energy in there. Like you could be an air sun, but you could be filled with water, for instance. You could feel very watery. I'll give you a hug if that's the case. To feel watery. Monogamy. I wonder how much. Actually, I'm going to go and draw some more tarot on here, and then we'll go and get a few more of these. Because here's what I'm feeling so far. First of all, it's very pensive energy. And not just because I have a hangman and 4 of cups. Not just because I have a hangman together with a 3 of swords. It feels very pensive. Like something happened in the fall. I don't think it's this coming fall. I think last fall there is a shift that perhaps you have not been aware of. Something changed. Is it something that changed thanks to God? Is it someone with a really big ego? Is this dark referring to another character here in this story? Is something dark referring to you? Could be dark hair, could be dark eyes, could be dark skin, could be a penchant for wearing dark clothes, could be a dark sense of humor. Could it be somebody who is a little pessimistic? I don't really think so. I don't think dark would be associated with pessimism. Personally, I don't see that. Instead, what I would see is somebody who would, rather than having a negative outlook or persona, I would see this dark if I was going to apply it to the personality other than a dark sense of humor, sarcasm, black humor. I would associate it with perhaps an attraction to dark subjects. Maybe this is somebody who likes watching those true crime things. Maybe this is somebody who likes exploring the occult. Maybe this is someone, oh, kind of gross, but maybe this is someone who likes, exploring taxidermy and things like that, right? It could be things like that with dark. Right? They could have interest, they could have subjects that aren't necessarily mainstream, but definitely could be an interest in the occult. Also, atypical things with dark. But that is that could be you, especially if you're here watching a tarot channel of all things, right? We're not exactly talking about, rivaling Martha Stewart's cooking. But something could have happened in the fall, a shift. Could it be a tension? I don't know what that 3 of Swords is, but I'm now curious. Actually, I'm going to draw one more card from these before I do tarot. And I think I'm going to use another deck. Hot fell out. Just fell out in general. I will also say, too, before I call dark someone who has a pessimistic attitude. Could be somebody who just naturally gravitates a little bit more towards the morbid. But I wouldn't see that again still in a bad light. I don't feel that. So monogamy gets earth. Dark gets stagnant. Fall gets days. God gets handsome. Could be, and handsome could be, well, it's masculine. Could literally be a handsome individual, a handsome male individual. Could also be, again, someone who is quite strong-willed, quite capable, but has handsome looks, right? Doesn't necessarily have to be pretty. Could be attractive, but in a strong way. I am curious about dark, so stagnant. Well, stagnant was pretty much 4 of Cups and Hangman. I was also contemplative too. You know, Hangman, especially since I started doing the collective reads a year ago, Hangman's meaning has actually changed quite a bit for me. A lot of cards have shifted. Hangman is probably one of the most drastic ones. Maybe it's my love for Pisces. So stagnant. Let's see, dark. Dark gets spirit and wood. Something is sparking. Dark, that is clarified by stagnant spirit and wood. Something is sparking for someone. You know, and this energy, though, still feels like a period of time. I almost want to say spring, but I feel like that's a little too literal. And I just say that because I have earth, I have fallen days. This is definitely a time card. I don't think this is this coming fall. I think this was past fall. And, you know, wood's element is spring, easterly direction, signs. If we wanted to think about the Chinese zodiac signs, we have tiger, we have dragon, and we have rabbit. So something to think about. Could be meeting someone on a Thursday, too. Could be something important happening on a Thursday. But all I know is for somebody who has characteristics that are dark, there's a spark that's finally coming up for you. A spark from spirit, something new is emerging from the pain that you've been in. Is there anything else I want to clarify before going off to tarot? I actually feel like this is pretty much it. With wood, I believe wood is fire. Of course, there is a fire, but it's related to fire. It's also initiation, which feels pretty fiery to me anyway. Anything else? I'm going to draw a little bit more here. You have a lot of feminine energy here. 9 of Wands, you can even say that is feminine energy, the yin dampening the yang of action. Why is a King of Cups surrounded by the 9 energy of 9 of Pentacles, 9 of Wands, which both is very passive energy. I don't know, am I dealing with a very feminine man? Could be. Very feminine energy here overall, though. Maybe I am pulling up the energy for a woman with hot, or a message for a collective of women, but I also have a feminine man here. I will say that as well. I have a feminine woman with a feminine man. The man is not really, the masculine energy is not really, I mean, it's like active enough, but it still is quite feminine. Anyway, monogamy and Earth, clarified by Judgment and Queen of Pentacles. Yeah, you know, something definitely happened long enough ago. I mean, I believe winter started, well, technically, winter started a month ago, almost a month ago, December 21st, right? Winter solstice, the beginning of winter. Of course, by that time, I was already saying we were in 2025. So, you know, don't pay attention necessarily to my mode of timing. But there is something here that happened a little while ago. There was a shift, and it feels like in that shift, well, Earth here could be dealing literally with an earth sign, but it could also just be grounding energy and someone recognizing the need for stability, the want for stability, the time for stability now is finally going to be a focus on you. And with that dark, well, you yourself could very well have some aspect of dark in there. Think about it. You know, don't try and force it to fit. Do you have a dark complexion? Do you have dark hair? Do you prefer dark clothes? Is there something about you that's a little dark? Think about it. It's not a bad energy here with dark. But anyway, this dark definitely has a spark that's changing from stagnant. There's a spark from spirit, and something is smoldering. Although, as I said, if you are in the feminine energy, that person that's coming to you feels pretty feminine as well. So, you know, you have two energies that are essentially receptive. And how do those two receptive energies get together? Well, patience. Especially if you don't know who's eyeing you. Patience, because that person, by the time that person moves, honestly, you could be moving on to someone else. But, you know, somebody is taking little tiny steps towards you. Very feminine energy here. But, you know, there's a spark of something that is going to happen. Someone's going to go and push forward against their massive insecurities. Let me say there is a massive insecurities overall here, but you know, we're all not perfect. I don't sense anything bad here on either end. There's just pain and there's fear, right? It's about you yourself healing, but the person that's eyeing you is in such feminine passive energy that for them to actually make a move towards you is taking long enough for dinosaurs to come back to the planet. Pretty much. No. But this person is coming, there is a spark there, as I said. this person is going to come forward and initiate, even though they're not sure what the outcome or the reception will be. I'm actually going to go and dig a little bit more into this. Fall clarified by days, accompanied by Page of Wands and Justice. Again, I don't feel like this was, or this is this coming fall. Did you talk to somebody? Did you talk to somebody this past fall? Could be very fleeting with Page of Wands energy. Maybe you just spoke to somebody while you were checking out, or maybe you just spoke to someone, I don't know, maybe you were meeting someone and that person was with someone else and there was just a brief introduction and nothing more came of it. Could also be in this energy with fall and days. Maybe somebody you caught someone's attention, and that was all that it took for them to start to think about you. That's why I'm going to dive a little bit more into this, more than necessarily the God and handsome. Handsome is accompanied by a Queen of Cups and Hierophant. So as I mentioned, very masculine energy here, but the whole overall energy is very feminine. And as I said, initially that handsome could be an attractive woman. It could be a handsome guy, right? That could go back and forth. Someone with strong, attractive features. But it could also be, well, either way, I do see someone warming up to the idea of commitment. Like no more no more of this crap, excuse my language, no more of that. Actual belief in monogamy. So let's go take just a little look at this, the timing. Fall, days, Page of Wands, and Justice. For Justice, I have Lovers, Tower. Why do I have Six of Cups here? Could be someone you met before in the fall. I'm wondering, how do I want to explore this? Let's just go basic. Four of somebody definitely, you caught their eye in the past. I could go a little bit more into it, but there's no point since I'm doing a collective reading. Is this a past person of yours who you actually know? I don't know about that. Because Lovers, Tower, Six of Cups, and Justice. I don't think there was a love relationship that blew up. I think that this was a connection that happened, a fated, unexpected connection that happened. And under Justice, I don't think it was ever given time or credence to come of anything significant other than just, well, a temperature check or gathering attention. Six of Cups here clarified by Ace of Pentacles. You know, there was something, I mean, look at those stunning cards too with the Lovers here, Six of Cups. Four of Wands, Ten of Cups. No, there was definitely something that was not matured to the level that an opportunity could be. But you definitely caught the eye and attention of someone. Could be a past person coming back, but as I said, they did not mature the relationship to what it, anywhere near where it should have been, or anywhere near what it could have been. Could have been, should have been. Well, I'm just saying the word should because, again, Four of Cups, Four of Wands, Ace of Pentacles, Six of Cups, the Lovers under Justice. And then I have monogamy and I have, Hierophant here, right? I have all this like commitment cards all under a Three of Swords. Someone refused to deal with you honestly and to deal with you singularly. Is it the same person? I don't really think it's the same person here because I don't think that tower is a tower of destruction in this energy under justice. The tower is now an opportunity that was presented, is now going to be explored. But something happened pivotal last fall. In the days of fall, there was a meeting there. I think you caught the attention of someone. Maybe you met someone. But definitely this tower, the cards, the energy under this justice is not the same situation or person that gave you the heartbreak. Anyway, we'll leave it as that for this one. I think that if I was going to wrap it up, for some of you who have been in a very dry period of romance, very, very dry period of relationships, very, very dry period of finding anyone who truly cares and nurtures and is worthy of you. Oh, that's changing. It's hard to believe. I think something has been smoldering for you. I do think the person that's coming up, regardless if you are in, a male, a female, whatever, I think the person that's approaching you is very feminine. As I said, I'm getting feminine male energy. This person is very passive, naturally very contemplative, very slow, very fearful. Maybe too in the energy with Handsome and Queen of Cups. You could have a more dynamic personality or be more forceful than that person. But as I said before too, they still have that King energy there. Just, I don't know, they're kind of passive. Kind of feminine, kind of receptive, shy, very shy. Oh my goodness, so shy. Like, why are you that shy? What's the point of being that shy? Well, they're shy. Actually, I'm not going to ask why are they shy because I don't want to go there. Now I need another thought in my head. Anyway, yeah, some of you are getting somebody coming towards you, and that person will commit to you. That person should be quite attractive. That person feels like will match your wounds of pain and disappointment and betrayal. That person's going to match your open wounds with fearfulness. Uncertainty, not uncertainty of whether or not they can commit, but they're going to be fearful of how committed you'll be towards them. Just like you have the open wound of pain and betrayal. They have an open wound of rejection. They have a big wound of rejection. Anyway, again, nothing particularly bad. I mean, we had good energy there. It's just, everybody has something. That's what that person has. That person should be quite attractive, though, as they will find you quite attractive. We're going to have some more attractive people in the world, right? Theoretically. Okay. I said I do one more collective reading of Aware and Beware before I get on with the next message. Would anybody like me to pull for them? Would you like to make a donation to the channel, either through Cash App, which works in the US, or Buy Me a Coffee, which works everywhere? Buy Me a Coffee works all over. Do let me know. I'm going to pull one more message. One more message of Aware and Beware, and then I'll probably take another break. I'm not going to direct it either, just like the other ones. Whatever comes out from Spirit, whatever needs to come out. Whatever things are out there to be shared. Emotional security. That's a mouthful. Emotional security, tenderness. And fire. You're getting a warm person. Are you getting a warm person? Are you a warm person? Well, emotional security kind of makes me think that you are not providing the emotional security. Makes me feel like you are getting the emotional security. Feels like you are getting someone who's a warm person. That's what my cat says as she scratches. Something I'm pretty sure I don't want her scratching. Quickly, child. No. Oh, I love my Quick-Chan. Even though she's going through a phase of doing the bad. Okay. She stopped doing the bad. Let's go and get more information about emotional security, tenderness, and fire. As I said with these cards, makes me think that you are getting someone who embodies this, not really that you are providing it. Of course, you could provide it. That's a rather expensive energy, though, if you're the one putting it out. Are you the one? I don't know. That feels heavy. Feels like someone warm is coming up more than anything else. Someone who will soothe. And with that in mind, I'm going to pull from here. Six of Pentacles. So you provide, or someone's providing emotional security. What are they going to ask the other to provide? Someone else provides the stability. Someone else takes care of, I don't know, the logic, the materialistic aims of things, the foundation, the support, the help. Someone is going to definitely be the one who someone else is drawing upon to feel good. But it's a give and take energy here with Six of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles, Five of Pentacles, Five of Swords, and Hierophant. Definitely is a lack. Somebody could be wealthy in resources, in money, and someone else can be wealthy in, do I say love? They can be wealthy in emotional and immaturity. And they could also have a very warm and caring self. They can put themselves out to others. And if that's the case, let me go and say with a message here, I probably don't even need to go and pull any more here, but I will pull a few just for some more information, a little bit. But ultimately what I see here, if that's the case, one person's going to be a little cold, a little emotionally stunted. They're going to rely on you for that emotional security, for that softness, and they're going to be able to help you gain some stability. But as I said before, if you're the one providing the emotional security, that's going to be a drain. Not saying a bad thing, it's just going to be heavy. This Six of Pentacles, this possible relationship message from Spirit says, is not going to be something light. It's going to be heavy. Is it going to be hard? Not hard, but heavy. Also, too, once you get started with it, it's going to become complicated. Why is it going to become complicated? I don't know. You're going to be intertwined in some way. It's going to be hard to separate yourself from it. You may definitely go and be attracted. You may definitely want to go and get involved, but something about it, keep in mind, once you get involved, it's going to be heavy. Maybe that's a good thing. Maybe grounding on both levels is a good thing. Once you get intertwined, it's going to be hard to separate out. Maybe that's a good thing. Tiger could be someone born in the year of the tiger. I think we already passed the years. We could also look at the we could also look at the upcoming and past years and see when the year of the tiger is coming up. However, I don't really pull. I don't intentionally pull on years to come energy. I actually know somebody who can go and pull on energy that you're there, like, 5 years from now, you do blah, 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 blah. And from the energy I get, that's her talent. However, it's not something I'm interested in. I'm not interested in what's going to happen X amount of years from now. That's just not my interest, and therefore I don't put my attention or my energy that way. I'm more curious about what's happening right now and what's to come. And not to come long, long off in the future, because I'm an impatient person. I am patient, but I don't like to be. So who cares about what's happening farther off in the future? right? We don't need that. We need to know what's happening right now. What can we manipulate and expect and anticipate what's coming up now? Let's prepare for that. Let's have our energy coming up. Well, okay, so I'm seeing love for somebody. Again, Year of the Tiger. I'm not seeing Year of the Tiger. I'm seeing this as someone, a characteristic. If this isn't someone born in the Year of the Tiger, then it's not even like this is a fire sign. Could be a fire sign, but it also feels like, just someone who's very much into initiating, starting, someone who's not afraid of putting themselves out there. But as I said, whoever is putting themselves out there, this person definitely is lacking something in a big way, big enough way, right? They're either lacking some materialistic trappings, or they have a hole. They have a hole somewhere in either their heart or their gut. There's something about them that has been hollowed out. They either need a hug or they need hand holding, something along those levels. Could be you as well, right? As I said, there's all scars all the way around. It's not really about which scars are better or getting rid of them or healing them before you meet the next person. It's not about that in this energy. But as I said, there is a give and take. If you're the one, whoever is the one providing, if you're the one doing the emotional security, that's going to be heavy for you and hard for you to separate from, but perhaps maybe you don't want to. Permanent, perfect match, and healthy. Interesting. Very well, as I said hard to separate from. In the energy that I've been feeling since I've been pulling this, I've gotten a headache. I've gotten actually a headache that's been growing and growing. And in the energy that I feel from this whole pull, to me, it feels like concrete. So it's weird that it says permanent, perfect match, and healthy, because really what I'm getting is concrete. Maybe it has something to do with my personal energy too, because, I like concreteness and I like stability. I also like being, free. That's why I'm doing this readings being in the Northeast at like 4 a.m. in the morning. I don't really hold to standard practices of anything. Let's say in terms like time and things like that, right? Anyway, but this feels like concrete. Like once it gets set in motion, you're there. It's there. It's never going to come apart. It will never leave. That's what I have here. A Year of the Tiger could be very relevant. I am going to take a break from this last one. I don't think there's any need for me to go and pull a timing card on this. Because as I said, I don't intentionally pull on long-term energy. This is in the Year of the Tiger. This is a person in the Year of the Tiger. A permanent connection. And you're a perfect match. Also soulmate energy, life partner energy here. And it's a healthy relationship, despite the fact that I have that energy here. As I said, it just probably is something with me and just my own feeling of the situation. Very permanent, though. Again, concrete. It's like the moment you meet this person, the moment you have a conversation with that person, it's already going to be set. It's that kind of energy. If you blink at that person, probably it's already going to be set. Definitely if you sit and have a conversation with that person, it's like fate changes. Well, it says healthy. This person is coming up for you. This situation is coming up for you. This situation that for some of you, if you take this person, if it applies, you're together forever in a healthy way. Both of you will have respect for each other, take needs. Also, if I didn't say so with Tiger, may not necessarily be to someone born in the year of a tiger, but it definitely is somebody who is more often than not independent. This person does not go along with the flow. This person is someone who does spend time looking at a situation or a person or a situation before making a decision or before coming up and approaching. This person evaluates and stalks and thinks and prowls and paces internally or externally away from your eyes before they actually go forth and make a move. And when this person does move, when this person is in the public eye, when this person is out with their public face, this person is smooth. This person is suave. This person is capable. This person is fluid. This person is friendly just enough and yet removed just enough. And I wouldn't call this person there is a popular energy, but it's a popular energy of almost, like an untouchable type of, I'm not going to say ice queen because it's warmer than an ice queen, despite the fact that I have emotional security, regardless of who is doing the Six of Pentacles. As I said, regardless of who's providing that emotional security. This is not cold energy, but it is a little distant energy, right? Like this person could say hello to everyone, be warm to everyone, be friendly to everyone, but there are barriers there, right? Like they will only allow you to go so close. They'll be warm and friendly only to a certain extent before they put in the halts. They'll go, that's it, right? But they'll do it in a nice way, in a firm way. This person has boundaries. Anything more I can say about this person? This person could be tall. I'm not going to say anything so cliche as this person could have, like tiger characteristics. I don't really feel that so much, but I do feel watchfulness. As I said before, this is someone who goes through a whole host of emotions, but they do it in their own space because when they come out, they appear very unbothered and very fluid, very smooth. This is also someone that when they walk into a room, you'd notice. Wouldn't necessarily initiate randomly with everyone. This is not a chatterbox, but if they approach with conversation, they're going to do so with intention. If somebody approaches them with conversation, depending on how they feel, they may or may not entertain. This is also a leadership quality. Anything else I have to share with this? Tiger. Just wanted to be clear, it may not necessarily be a year of the tiger, but definitely has those characteristics. And as I said too, this is somebody who more often than not is someone who travels by themselves or is by themselves, some sort of, when they are in groups as a leader, or they are in groups and they're just slightly set off. Maybe they have a group of people around them, but there still is boundaries and borders, right? Only getting so close. Do I get any creativity from this? Could be creativity with fire. This could be somebody who enjoys starting, being a self-starter in this energy, very much so. But I feel like that's more Well, maybe I'll pull 3 more cards just in general about the situation. But I did want to share that about the tiger. More than the year of the tiger, think about those characteristics. I do feel being tall or taller is part of that. Also, too, as I said, this person has boundaries. Friendly, but friendly up to a certain point. And this person will lead, and this person will talk, but I think also too about this particular person, especially with emotional security here. When this person talks, it's like if you listen to the content of what they're saying, they're not really revealing that much about themselves. When they talk, they're talking more to hear where you're at, to psychoanalyze you, to hear more about your values. They say just enough to prod you into that or prod the people around into that. But if you actually listen to the content of their conversation, they try not to reveal that much about them. They try and gain more information or have you talk more about yourself, your situation, than what they would share about their self. Okay, things like that. Well, tiger is a predator, right? Apex predator. So I have 5 of Wands, the Moon, and the Star here. I just pulled them out because I wanted a few more cards here. A few more clues. I just pulled them out without really wanting to attach them to anything. 6 of Pentacles. So if I was to say zodiac signs, I do read, as I said before, well, maybe I haven't said here, but I do read my queens, all my queens as cardinal signs. It's just how I prefer to read them. So I do have Aries, do have Taurus, I do have Leo, I read my moons as Pisces and Cancer, and I do have Aquarius. So those placements could be in either the sun, moon, rising. I always wonder about the houses. Do I say 4th house? Do I say 7th house? What's the love reading? So you can consider, I like to say Venus, but it could be also Jupiter. I leave that up to you. What I will say, also too, having 5 of Wands, the moon and the star, this person will definitely take initiative and I'm not using tiger and 5 of Swords. Excuse me, 5 of Wands as a clarifier, right? I'm just picking these 2 up. But I will say this person definitely will initiate. And if you're the one providing the emotional security, this person definitely has a gap. They need a lot of understanding. Whoever has the need for the emotional security has a need for a lot of understanding, which will be provided. Anyway, interesting with a perfect match here. Very strong commitment energy that's here. Very tightly interwoven, though. As I said before, once you get started with this person, it's going to be hard to separate. But it says perfect match, healthy, and permanent. Sounds like marriage to me. Or if you insist upon it, this person will marry you. Maybe if you don't and you're both there, just, I don't know, that's like how the 20-year, what do they call them? I forgot what the term of it, but you're engaged for 20 years or whatever. Well, anyway, don't be that person. Don't be the person engaged for 20 years. Make this person make it official, and because they have resources to share. And the resources here are meant to be shared. This is someone who's your perfect match. All right. And that's going to be it for the aware and beware. I could leave this up a little bit in case anybody does want a reading. Of course, I do think I have things to do in the AM, rather early AM for that matter. I'll remain on for maybe 2 more minutes. If anybody would like a personal reading, let me know. Otherwise, then you can anticipate what Mystic Moons will bring out next. Many different things to explore, many questions to discover. I'm actually curious about ASB Rocky, ASB. He's in a court case, isn't he? I saw some article that spoke about, I think it was an article, about him with Rihanna and some quotes saying how he doesn't believe in nannies because he waited 30 years to have his own kids and he's not going to allow anyone else to raise them. But I'm curious about his court case. I think he has a court case. That might be something explored tomorrow or today, later today. And maybe the air signs. I was going to do the air signs instead of this one, but then I felt called to do this. We'll do the air signs. But yes, if anybody has any questions, any personal questions before I leave, do let me know. All I ask for is a donation. And I'm going to wait 1 more minute and then I'm going to shut down. You know, with this energy that I have here, I'd almost expect it to say Sagittarius because I've been getting lots of permanent life partner energy from the Sagittarius collective. But this isn't necessarily, I don't feel it's necessarily a fire sign. It could be basically the signs that I have here. It could be anybody. It could be fire, earth, water, or air. But it does feel like someone who has strong, or has, Aries, Aquarius, Pisces, Cancer, Leo, and Taurus. Someone who's tall and has boundaries. Friendly, but only so close. And is an apex predator. Someone is an apex predator. And they're stunted in the emotional department. All right. Until next time. Bye-bye.